Hey Cowboys fans, my name is Alex and I want to thank you guys for joining me on my first YouTube episode where I will be covering the Dallas Cowboys' upcoming game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This game has a lot of hype and a lot of expectations. One of the reasons why is because this is the return of Dak Prescott, who's coming off an ankle injury that he suffered last October, and this is also the return of the Dallas Cowboys' offensive line, Tyron Smith, La'el Collins, and even the tight end Blake Jarwin, who tore his ACL in Week 1 against the Los Angeles Rams. Now, for the Tampa Bay side, this is the return of not only Tom Brady, but for 21 other starters for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 21 starters and Tom Brady. That makes 22, meaning that the entire Super Bowl starting team is going to be returning this year. Rob Gronkowski will be returning, Vita Vea will be returning, and Ndamukong Suh as well. And so that means that both the offense and the defense for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are expected to come back, and they're going to be coming back wanting to rebuild, not rebuild, but reload from that Super Bowl run of last year. Now, for the Cowboys, there's a couple of strengths and a couple of weaknesses that we need to address for this game. And for the Cowboys, in terms of their strength, one of the biggest strengths that they're going to have coming into this game is going to be their wide receiver core. Now, while the wide receiver core is not the most experienced or the greatest wide receiver core that we have witnessed in this NFL season, it is still a core to recognize, and that's Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and CeeDee Lamb. Amari Cooper is known as one of the best route runners in the National Football League. Michael Gallup, while he hasn't had a tremendous career with the Dallas Cowboys, he still has made a lot of crucial catches for the Cowboys, and he is still a contributing factor to the wide receiver core. And let's not forget that Michael Gallup, he is on the last year of his contract, which means he needs to have a breakout year in order to convince the Cowboys to sign him to a long-term extension or for another team to give him a long-term extension. And CeeDee Lamb had a lot of expectations last year. Besides wearing the number 88, which was the 88 jersey, which is the number that belonged to Dez, to Michael Irvin, and to Drew Pearson, CeeDee Lamb, coming out of Oklahoma, had a great ability at not only running routes, but as well as scrambling and running for that extra yardage to be able to get to the first down. He was also incredibly hard to tackle, and he wasn't able to do much of that last season because of Dak's injury. And so with Dak coming back and being able to practice with CeeDee, Gallup, and Cooper, we can expect the Cowboys offense to have a great season. Now, continuing with the Cowboys offense, another player we should watch out for is, of course, Zeke Elliott. Last year, Elliott did not have the best rushing season of his career. He had less than 1,000 yards, and he had a couple of fumbles that really hindered him in his performance. Zeke has changed a lot in this offseason. Zeke has lost a lot of weight. He's also gained back a lot of his speed, and he's looking to regain not only his rushing title, but he's hoping to compete with Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry as the best running back in the league right now. And so we'll see how Zeke is able to contribute this year. In his rookie season, you noticed that he was able to contribute a lot thanks to the Cowboys offensive line. The second year wasn't his sophomore season wasn't the best for the Cowboys, but it was still good. And in the third season proved how much the Cowboys needed Zeke, especially in terms of yards after catch, and as well as in the passing game when Dak needed a check down running back. And remember, guys, with Zeke Elliott, the amount of power that he has in his running, the Cowboys are guaranteed to at least get 1 or 2 yards, even if the offensive line is not that good. Another strength that we need to watch out for, another strength to keep an eye out for the Dallas Cowboys is going to be their defense. Dan Quinn is the new defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, and that means that there's going to be a lot of expectations for the secondary. Remember that Dan Quinn was also a contributing factor to the Legion of Boom, which was one of the best secondaries from the Seattle Seahawks and even in the National Football League in general. Now, the Cowboys drafted Micah Parsons in the first round out of Penn State, and Parsons has shown that he can be a really great linebacker for the Cowboys. He has the speed to be able to catch up to running backs, to catch the screen passes, and he has just the amount of emotion and determination to be able to play for defense. Leighton Vander Esch is coming off his final year of his rookie contract, and everybody knows that he wants to stay with the Dallas Cowboys. And in order to do that, he's going to have to prove that he can stay healthy. A healthy Leighton Vander Esch leads to a great defense. As we saw when the Dallas Cowboys played against the Minnesota Vikings, Leighton Vander Esch was able to stop Dalvin Cook from getting a 1-yard touchdown. It was such a good play that even on instant replay, you noticed that Dalvin Cook did not gain anything. He was pushed back. And so that's what I'm expecting from Leighton Vander Esch. I really do hope Leighton Vander Esch is able to do really good for the Cowboys, because to be able to keep Leighton Vander Esch, Micah Parsons, and Jalen Smith, that would be a really great set of linebackers for the Cowboys for years to come. And let's not forget also that the Cowboys signed Keanu Neal from the Atlanta Falcons, and Keanu Neal will be playing more of a hybrid type of defensive player, meaning safety and linebacker, and that's something that the Cowboys, it's really good that the Cowboys are keeping an eye out for, because they have been needing a safety for years, and being able to have a hybrid player allows the defense to have more creativity. Now, while there are strengths for the Cowboys, there's always weaknesses that need to be addressed, and the biggest weakness right now is going to be offensive line. And I say offensive line because last year, the expected offensive line starters were Tyron Smith, Connor Williams, Joe Looney, Zach Martin, and La'el Collins. La'el Collins is recovering from a stinger injury. It shouldn't affect him that much, but we won't know until the game starts. Zach Martin is not going to be able to play this game because he tested positive for COVID. There is rumors of a chance that he could play, but it would be a miracle for him to come to be able to play tomorrow, or to be able to play on September the 9th. Joe Looney had just retired, and so that means that we're going to have the Dallas Cowboys are going to have a new center. And with that, that leaves Connor Williams, Tyron Smith, and La'el Collins as the remaining starters from last year's offensive line. And if that's the offensive line for the Dallas Cowboys, the biggest problem the Cowboys will need to address is going to be that inside protection, where the guards and the centers are going to have to protect Dak. And that's just because Ndamukong Suh and Vita Vea are really good at rushing the passer and being able to disrupt the pocket. And let's not forget the outside linebackers. We have Shaq Barrett, and then the defensive end, Jason Pierre-Paul. If you're a Cowboys fan and you've been fans for a long time, then you know Jason Pierre-Paul. He played for the New York Giants. He's been disruptive when he played for New York. And let's not forget that in the 2011 game against the New York Giants on Sunday Night Football, Jason Pierre-Paul was the one that blocked Dan Bailey's potential game-tying field goal that could have sent the Cowboys and Giants into overtime. And if the Cowboys had won that game, they could have had one win over the Giants, and so on and so forth. And then another weakness or another deficit to address is going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense, which has the experience. They've just come off a Super Bowl win. Tom Brady has played in the preseason, which means he should be ready to be able to play in the season opener. And the reason I mention that is because Dak, let's not forget, it's been almost 11 months since Dak Prescott has played a snap of football. And he hasn't played in the preseason. In the practices, he's doing good. He has that chemistry with Gallup, with Cooper, and Lamb. But we need to see how that chemistry works when he's playing on the field against an opposing team. And I say opposing team as in a team that he has not played against yet. Because playing against your own defense is different from being able to play against someone on the field. And so with that, all those strengths and those weaknesses, I'm coming up with a prediction that Tampa Bay will win the game 27-23. And I say that because the Cowboys will be playing catch-up offense for the first 3 quarters of the game. And that's going to be because Tom Brady and that offense will be able to lead and complete the drives with touchdowns. The Cowboys will struggle at first. They'll have to find a way to regain their offensive identity in the beginning of the game. But I do believe eventually after this game that the offense is just going to get better exponentially. And that's just because when it comes to playing offense and coming back from an injury, the best way to be able to get back to where you were is through time. Now, while I do believe Tampa Bay will win this game, the Dallas Cowboys losing the season opener does not mean that the season is over. There's still going to be 16 more games to cover, and there are still more chances for the Dallas Cowboys to be able to win. And I do believe the Cowboys have a chance at being able to win the NFC East as long as they're able to stay healthy. If they're able to contain the Washington football team's defense, if they're able to find a way to penetrate the Giants offense as well as the Philadelphia Eagles offense, then the Dallas Cowboys do have a chance of winning the NFC East. But of course, we're going to have to find out more about that as the season progresses. I want to thank you guys for joining me on my first episode. Please subscribe to my channel And if you guys have any comments, anything you guys have to say, or anything you think about this game, please let me know in the comment section below.